Good evening and welcome to the Mancunian Way. I hope you are all well. My name is Martin. I'm your host, and tonight we are joined by Rich. How are you, mate? Good evening.
Not too bad, not too bad. Raring to go, Monday morning about to start work.
One thing I want to say is a big thank you to Rich and Pat for holding down the fort on Thursday night. They did a fabulous job. I do apologise I was not around. But family first and all that. My mother, I will say one thing. I'm going to bring in a couple of people. One very, very special. I want to say a big thank you to everyone before we get going. To everyone who has sent DMs, messages. I've had loads, and I can't thank everyone enough for it. It is a turbulent time at the moment for my family, as a lot of families are going through turbulent issues. So this is not mine's worse than yours. It's never about that, but I just can't thank everyone enough for the lovely messages. My mother is out of hospital. She was diagnosed, like I said, with Alzheimer's on Tuesday. She has an issue with the brain, which she had a brain tumor 18 months ago, which has left complications, which is where that was all about on the other night. So yes, I can't thank you all enough. I will always try to be on the channel, you know that. But we have Rich and Pat and somebody else who I now do want to bring in, who his contributions to this channel are very underrated, and people don't realize what people do behind the scenes. But it is an absolute pleasure to have him once again back on his channel, our channel, your channel. He's been going through a lot, and I just want people to wish him all the best, welcome him back with a great big viral hug, technical hug, whatever you want to call it. So here he is. Vader! Oh, Vader's not there. Damn, Vader's not there. Evening, mate.
Evening, Martin. Evening, Rich. How's it going?
Not too bad, not too bad.
Top of the world, mate. As you just heard.
Yeah, it's good to be back. I'd just like to say thank you, everybody in the chat. I've been going through some difficult times of late, and I need to take a bit of time out to get better. I won't be coming back fully. I'm going to kind of come in and out.
Part-time.
Still get full pay though, don't I?
Pardon? We get paid. Rich, you're the accountant. Come on, mate.
But no, seriously, it's good to be back, and I'd just like to say thank you to everybody who's messages, and Rich and Pat and Martin, have done a brilliant job since I've been gone, and hopefully I can contribute more as time goes on. So enough about me anyway.
Yusuf talking waffle there. We'll get into it, but Yusuf Will is a Liverpool fan. MCFR TV, yes, mate. We include every channel. As you know, we are a very, look after each other. It's Clay Goal, Akanji. Good evening, Sean. How are you? We're going to get into it all. Vader is going to join us. Vader, as you can see, is currently sat. I'm just going to leave this here because it's quite funny to watch. Vader's currently at the Etihad Stadium with. I'm so hoping he can hear this. Vader is currently at the Etihad doing a press conference ready for the Leipzig game on Tuesday. So look at him there, he's prepared. You know what I should have said? We could have got away with that and said we're waiting for Pep.
I tell you what, you should be getting some advertising revenue.
I know, seriously.
I'm going to say we're getting copyrighted to shit when this comes out. I'm going to remove it until he comes back. By the way, if you have not been on, as you know, 9320 Podcast did an excellent show. There is going to be, it was a show that I know Andy wasn't intending to do. It came up during the show. We're going to touch on something I'm experiencing with it and what I heard, because I wasn't at the game on Saturday, but I had people who were. That we're going to touch on during the week. we're going to do a separate show on it because I think it needs to be straightened out. I have spoken to members of the club this week, got a response that was quite frankly disgusting put to me. And the lads know what I'm on about because we spoke about it off air. This thing of we need to come out of all I'm going to say is we need to come out of this idea of we don't want to be Man United. We are now the Man United. This thing in our heads of we're not Man United, the club have become the Man United from 20 years ago. Whether we like to admit that or whether we don't, they now are. And that's something we have to live with and deal with. But as fans, we have to stick together through it and not forget where we've been and where we're going to go. There will be Liverpool fans in the chat. I'm warning you now because every single City channel has had them all weekend. So, mods, please do your job. If they are being offensive, remove. If it's a bit of banter, let them go with it. We don't mind a bit of banter. We don't do anything to do with Hillsborough crap. We don't do anything like that on this channel or any channel, full stop. Nothing offensive. Bit of banter is fine. So you say bit of banter, not a problem. But anything offensive, get rid of them. Yep. Simple fact on it. So let's not don't just get rid. Just see where they're going with it. So anyway, yes. While I'm just going to throw up the two teams, and then I'm going to let Rich and Ozzy go off on their little spiel, because we do need to talk about Lionel Doku, or Jeremy Messer, or whatever we want to talk about. We must talk about him tonight.
I thought he was banned from the channel.
No. Listen, because I actually think Doku played very well yesterday. I had a little criticism of him, but I got attacked when I said that criticism, like majorly attacked. So I don't want to go anywhere.
I think one thing we won't go into today is Grealish versus Doku.
No, Grealish is finished.
And the fact that Grealish was
Rich,
Grealish was sick, so it never happened. It never happened because he was injured.
Because I'm going to put the comments up while these two are giving their amazing points. Edison was in net. Kyle Walker, Nathan Ake, Ruben Diaz, Kanje, Rodri, Alvarez, Bernardo Silva, Phil Foden, Illenbrat, Haaland, Jeremy Doku. The bench for Manchester City. We'll get onto this as well. Can't wait to get onto this point. Calvin, because apparently we've got two world-class players for every position. Calvin Phillips, John Stones, who was not fit. He was on the bench just for being on the bench. Stefan Ortega, got Sergio Gomez, who was on crutches 2 weeks ago. Josko Gavardio, Scott Carson, who's never going to play for City ever in his life. Oscar Bob, and Rico Lewis. Liverpool were Alisson, Butterfingers Alisson, Trent Arnold, Mr. Man of the match. Matip, Van Dijk, Simiskis, Zabozlai, McAllister, Jones, Salah, Nunes, Jota. Yes, Salah did play. He's only just come out the back of Nathan Ake's pocket. Gomez was on the bench. Endo, Kanate, Diaz, Gakpo, Elliott, Gravenberch, Kellier, and Kwanzaa, and Chris Kavanagh, the Manchester City fan, come on, was the referee. So anyway, lads, I'm just seeing if Vader's still not there. He's taking questions from the media. Right, Ozzy, seeing as you're back, mate, you can go first because Rich will waffle. So I'm going to stick the comments up.
Rich waffle? No.
Come on. No. I'm back more than CM Punk. Let's go.
Rich, I'm going to ask you a question, actually.
Oh, Jesus, he's asking him a question.
No. I've heard, because this game was supposed to be a barnstormer of a game, and all I've heard really from the press is it's quite negative, as in it was a boring game. Where they're expecting this goal thriller, and in the end, it really, they're saying it wasn't that. What did you actually think of the game?
I thought it was a good game, actually. I thought the first half in particular, I think Liverpool weren't as good in the second half, but I thought the first part of the game, both sides were working incredibly hard, and City were having to actually pass under more pressure than we probably have in any game this season, and Liverpool pressed really well, and they did close down the space really well. And I think the side was the only difference with the side than expected, because I think we discussed it on Friday and we thought that Ake would play because he'd do well against Salah, and Ake proved that 110%. I think the only surprise for me was because of Grealish's sickness, because I think Grealish would have played instead of Alvarez because Alvarez was back late and apparently, considered not playing, but Grealish was sick or something. So I think we never got the probably extra controlling player we were perhaps going to have. But no, I thought it was a good game. I thought City should have. I thought we were robbed of a good goal. I thought we probably should have scored at least one more from the chances we had. I thought we saw some moments of brilliant football. I think from Doku. I think from Bernardo. Bernardo, I think, had a great game. Ederson, I thought we saw some great moments from. And I thought Liverpool as a team offered something a bit more than they have in the past.
Stop. We don't refer to him as Alisson anymore. We refer to him as Brazil's number one. Just for any Liverpool fans that are in the chat. Carry on.
Well, no, I thought there were 3 or 4 City players who played really well, and I actually thought that although Liverpool, I think were comfortably the second best side, I do think for the first half they actually didn't cause us so much problems, but they caused us to really have to try hard to play and pass well and move and think in a way that I haven't really seen this season. So I think it was a really good workout for the team. But we were just a little bit lacking in being ruthless, I think would be the term.
Yeah.
And did you? Yeah. I mean, what about yourself? I don't know why it was negative. I think maybe the atmosphere, which sounded a bit early morning, was perhaps what concerned people. I don't know.
If it was a Manchester derby, that wouldn't have been quiet. That's all I'm going to say on that. Done Manchester derbies at R12 and they weren't quiet.
Yeah,
true, but
I mean, it has
that
become
matters more.
Yeah, I mean, over the last few seasons, this game has been more, the hot press, hasn't it? Really, because there was the old Man United and Liverpool rivalry, and now that seems to have switched a little bit. I think mine's having struggle.
Sorry, I was going to say, Jack Lee, don't say shit like that because it just causes an uproar, mate.
So yeah, over the last few seasons, Liverpool have definitely, pushed us as a team, haven't they? Really, they've made it, a thriller at times with the games that we've had between them. And I think for me, Liverpool and Klopp came with a bit of a game plan. I think you're right, Rich. They pressed really well. I think they defended quite well at times. Apart from Trent,
in the middle, they defended. Well. I'm not sure they were great out wide, but they defended well in the middle. Apart from
out wide, I think. I mean, Trent, Doku had him on toast. Let's be honest.
I don't fully agree with that, and I'll go into why in a bit.
Well,
I'm sorry. No, the reason why I don't agree with it because I think there's a difference between running past him and did he do anything when he got past him.
Yeah, but that's not. But Trent didn't stop that. Yeah. Doku beat Trent more than any player has beaten another player in the Premier League. Statistically, he completed 11 successful dribbles past Trent, which is the most dribbles past a defender that a player has completed in the Premier League. He wasted the ball.
Stats can be misconstrued. It depends where your starting point is, which part of the pitch it's in, etc.
But I see nothing has changed since I've been.
No. The point I'm making is Rich, because there's a stat out there that Grealish has more successful dribbles than Doku, and we know Doku is is a better dribbler. So it depends what we're throwing out on a stat.
Had Doku had the player in the right position or used the final ball better, then Doku could have had 3 assists, and he didn't, and that was down to their centre backs. No, that was down to their centre backs and everything else.
Excuse.com.
No, but he didn't do it. But that wasn't Trent. That's what I'm saying. That was Doku.
No, and I'll have this
mistakes.
debate when Vader comes on, because me and Vader have had this debate privately. I don't think Trent was as bad as everyone's made him out to be.
I don't think he was as good as everyone's made him out to be either. He wasn't close to as good as Reece James.
5 minutes ago, you just told me I would. Anyway, carry on.
Yeah.
You debate with Ozzy.
Yeah.
This is my other
Martin. I mean, I can sit quietly for a bit longer if you want.
This is my other stop for 6 months.
Ozzy, you watched the Chelsea game. Now, I guess my point is that compared to Reece James, Trent was not in the same league. Reece James was phenomenal against Doku, and going forward, he obviously didn't get a goal in quite spectacular style like Trent, but the praise Trent got after that game, Reece James should have been getting called the next Messi, because Reece James was a class above him, and I think Trent had a better game than I thought he'd have, but to be man of the match was just, given the performance we'd seen from Reece James 2 weeks before, was just madness.
I'll tell you what, the thing about Trent for me, okay?
Charlie, you a disgrace.
He's brilliant at the pass, he's brilliant at things like that. Defensively, I think even Liverpool fans could admit it, that he's not good. But the problem they've got is that Klopp doesn't seem to trust him in the midfield that much. But he hasn't got any other options, at that fullback position. So I think he struggles, which is why I think he's finally decided to copy Pep, and he's kind of moving him into the midfield where he can, which is why Klopp isn't as good a manager as Pep, because if you copy Pep, then you can't come up with your own ideas. Sorry, Liverpool fans, but it's the truth. But like I said, for Trent, he's brilliant. He can be like Kevin De Bruyne when it comes to his passing. No one can deny that. Okay, he is very good, but he falls short. And I think until Klopp decides to either put him into midfield properly, you're going to have this problem for Liverpool. They need to go out and buy a proper fullback and put him in midfield. I think you're right, Rich. I think he didn't deserve man of the match. I don't know why he got man of the match. Because Doku was brilliant. He really was. The thing I think where I agree with Martin, and I'm sure we're going to have this, we're going to agree, is that for me, Doku, his final end product that day, he kind of played how he did. I think it was against Burnley, where he had 2 assists. He tried to do just too much. I think the occasion just kind of got to him where he thought, I can dribble past Trent and then I'm going to try and get a goal. I'm going to do one more thing, when really he had options out there where he could have passed.
And he did turn and pass backwards on at least 10 occasions as well.
He did. That's why I said I think he had a really good game. But for me, I think that's where I think I can see Martin coming from, where I think he had different options. And I think you just did too much. But that'll come with time and experience.
Yeah.
He's still a young
I
lad.
agree.
He's going to be a fantastic player for City. I have no doubt. And he's
you know what I think the thing that surprised me about his performance, actually since he joined, but particularly yesterday, was when he came, we all thought we were going to see that explosive player going both sides, taking risks. He doesn't actually lose the ball that often. For a player like he is, you'd expect him to lose the ball 2 or 3 times more than he does. And, I think that's one of the amazing things, is he can stop and bring the ball back and keep possession, and he can run into the middle and keep possession. So I think that, that's something that Pep will probably really like, that he doesn't lose the ball so often. But he's going to learn to do that killer ball. But I think the other thing probably with Doku yesterday, when we think to the Chelsea game, is that having Ake with him, I think gave it so much more comfortable. I'd have given it to Bernardo, but I think Ake had a really good game. But
mate, Salah's still trying to get out of Ake's back pocket.
Yeah, but I think
Find his way out
Bernardo
of it.
was back to his being everywhere, being in the heart of it, being in the action best.
No, I agree, but right, I mean, I'm going
The
to
first half.
Yeah,
but
no,
this is my thing.
You know,
let's look at first half, second half, because I don't think we were the same team in each half at all. And I'll tell you why. If you remember, I said a couple of weeks back, I've been told by someone we know that this fully controlled football was slowly going to phase out, because I've been told Pep doesn't like to keep the same system for year after year because he thinks teams will find him out. So he likes to sort of, switch it up a little bit. And I think that's where the Doku card has come in, which perfectly fine. Not a problem with that. Because again, I think Doku did good yesterday. Do I think he was world class like some City fans have made out? No. But again, I think that's okay. What I think has happened with Doku is some fans have bigged him up to a point of being Messi Ronaldo level, is that they now don't know what to do when he's sort of not performing at that sort of, because what they're doing is they're looking at a Bournemouth Doku who was rip-roaringly brilliant. Then they're looking at a Doku who played some minutes against Arsenal, Chelsea, and now Liverpool, and hasn't done the same. And people have now gone, oh, right, so he's not. And it's like this A to Z argument. And this is why people always go, you agree? I wasn't. I was team everyone. My point was, don't put yourself in a camp. Don't go camp Grealish and don't go camp Doku. Just, be pleased. We've got two different options. We've got a plan A, a plan B. I'm playing both together with a plan C if you want. But people didn't want to do that. They wanted to nail their colours to a certain mass. So now they've gone that, they don't know how to backtrack or they either over defend Doku then. And the simple fact is, the kid is 21, who has never played in England. What we've got to do is remember, the guy's 21, played less than 1,000 minutes for Rennes last season. And the simple fact is, every other player needs time to adapt to a Pep system. Why can't we allow Doku to adapt to a Pep system? This has all been my whole, not point or argument or anything, just let him just adapt. Let him enjoy his football. He's going to make errors. He's going to be brilliant. He's going to just let him be. There's too much of this. He must do that. Week in, week out. Because playing Bournemouth is very different to playing Chelsea, Liverpool, and Arsenal United. It's very different ball games. So let's just all relax. Was he rip-roaring world class yesterday? No. Because I totally agree with the lads. Thought he was great going past people. He couldn't finish his dinner yesterday. There was no end product with it. And that's okay. He'll go back and learn. Do I think he needs to track back a little bit more? Yes, because that's now becoming a bit of a pattern where he doesn't want to come back. But I don't think that's Doku's fault. I think that's a bit of Pep's fault, because one thing I was going to say is, and good evening to Vader. Evening, mate.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Good to see you. It's been a while.
What I'm going to say is, I do think the system's changed slightly. There isn't a lot of, or as many back passes anymore, or there's now a lot more urgency to get the ball forward. Like there was a ball yesterday that, if you notice, Bernardo Silva has the ball on the City right. And did anyone see what he tried to do? I think it was early on in the second half. Something we've never done ever. I was like, whoa, where's that come from? He tries to switch, quick ball, forward, diagonally.
And Trent intercepts. Is it when Trent intercepts it?
No, I thought was it Matip? That was Matip who got it.
Okay.
Matip or Trent, but it got intercepted straight away in the middle of the field. And I went, oh, that's not us. Normally that's 5-yard pass backwards and we work our way forward as a group, not get the ball and ping it 40 yards up. And I think Pep's just thought, do you know what? I'll have a bit of fun this season. Won the treble, I'll mix it up. And I think that's why sometimes we may be conceding a bit more and the midfield's looking a little bit more open. Because I do think the midfield's looking very open at the minute. There was 3 times Liverpool, Matip had the freedom of the air he had at some points. He was just strolling through the midfield like it wasn't there. And that never happens in a Pep team.
Yeah,
So
I think I said it before the season started. I think Rodri's pretty tired. I think he said he was just absolutely cream crackered at the end of last season, and
that
I think
means
without
tired and knackered
Stones,
to anyone who doesn't understand that slang.
I think he's very fatigued, and I think he does need to get some rest. And I'd be not playing him in the last 2 Champions League games. I'd be looking. He's going to get himself a yellow just so he can get a week off, I reckon. Probably next week.
No, he can't. We've got Villa and Tottenham. He better not start bleeding out.
Okay, well, they'll get a yellow against Tottenham then. So after we played Villa and Tottenham, but he needs some rest. We need Stones back, but we have got to. I think we in both the games in Europe, we're going to have to figure out, whether it's Lewis and Akanji or Stones is back or Gvardiol. We've got to figure out a way to give Rodri a rest, because I think January. I think our biggest risk to our season is that Rodri's going to get injured, or he's going to, run out of steam at the end of the season, because he is tired, and we need Stones back for that. Or we need to get one of the other players in, because it ain't going to be Calvin Phillips. But I think you're right. I think we are, Bernardo had to do so much work, helping out. Even Haaland back almost yesterday into the mids to help out. But I think, I think that's an issue.
Rich, I think the whole team. I mean, Martin says we're going to talk about, first and second half, but I think you could see the second half. City just looked legless. I mean, they looked exhausted. And I know we're going to get onto the bench, but there was some criticism from the media about, like, why didn't Pep bring anybody on? Who the hell could he bring on to make a difference?
Sorry, I'm being facetious because that's what I've heard today. Someone went Oscar Bob, and I went, okay.
Yeah,
I don't think he was fit, but someone like Nunes could have made a difference in that game, because he is a powerful runner through the middle and
he was
has energy. But that's what I mean. So he because Kovacic or Nunes would have in a way been perfect, but Kovacic was injured, and obviously Nunes chucking up. So we lack that player to bring on, because it was that kind of player you needed. I was surprised, I have to say, that Lewis didn't get brought on. The one change I would have made was Alvarez or even Foden, because Foden wasn't having his best game, but one of those two swapping positions. So either, Foden swapping out and bringing Lewis on, because I think Lewis's energy is keeping the ball.
I'm going to ask you a question. Who goes 10 then? Do not say Bernardo.
Because
that is a fallacy that I don't understand where that's come from. Someone needs to tell me where this Bernardo 10 bits come from.
Maybe it was Lewis going to 10, but I think, personally, I thought that Lewis
gambling here.
Well, no, but I think it wasn't quite working. I don't think Alvarez was effective. I think he was tired. I think he wasn't supposed to be playing
4 or 5 games now, Rich.
Exactly. But Lewis would have brought an energy, a retention of the ball, and everything else into the middle of the park that I think we needed a bit. And, that would have been a change, because I think that's what we needed. We needed a Nunes, a Kovacic, a Lewis, or a player who was going to actually, start to cause them some problems in the middle of the park and give us some real energy. I thought that the same against Chelsea. We lacked energy in the middle compared to them. And I think what you're seeing is 2 very young midfields. Good midfields. They're going to get better. But I think you're seeing 2 very young, good 3-man midfields actually, with more energy, a bit more pace, and everything that we've got. And Lewis, I think, offers that. I think Lewis is He's good enough to come into the midfield against Liverpool. He's
yeah, we will. Yeah, we'll get another video. Sorry. Yeah, we will get 2 tricky games ahead. Spurs and Villa. We could see another goal bridge crisis video. Well, Man United are back, by the way. Congratulations, United are now back after a cracking 3-0 win. I will give it goal of the season's over because that was some finish. And he didn't shin it, unlike Rooney's. But, yeah, it doesn't mean the back. But, yeah. Mate, mate, good evening, mate. What did you think of the general performance before we get into the individual parts and look at each section? What did you think overall? Like, we're of the opinion like there was a distinct difference between first and second half.
Yeah. Overall, I was happy with how the boys played. I was really happy because they're coming off an international break. When you look at that bench, and the funny thing is, before the game, I'm nervous just to know who's healthy. I don't even think about those that were healthy not being healthy. So I was really just surprised to see how thin our bench was, and to also learn that Jack wasn't available. Because my whole time was debating whether it would be Jack starting, Doku subbed on, or vice versa. To know that Jack wasn't available would have saved me a lot of needless and senseless waste of time debates. But I thought that they played well. I thought it was a clear difference of our best 11, which happened to be of that day fit that Pep used against, in this case, Liverpool's best 15. Like, Pep used all 5 subs. Or did he use all 5? I think he used all 5.
Klopp did, yeah.
Yeah, Klopp used all.
Yeah.
Yeah, so actually I take that back. He used 5 subs. He played 11. So, we went against 16 of theirs, and it was our team. But I thought we played well despite that. I would have liked for us to be a little sharper. I know we'll get into picking at how players performed in some of the situations, but I thought we could have just been a little sharper, especially the first 15, 20 minutes. You know me, Martin, guys. I always watch the game a second time. The first time I'm watching the game, it's all emotion. I'm excited. I'm yelling. I got the kids, and I'm rah-rah with them. The second time, it's kind of like, okay, let me look and see how the ops were playing against us. Let me look and see what I think Pep was giving instructions to the players. And the first 15, 20 minutes, I hate to say this, but we're still trying to find someone that's looking at the game creatively like KDB. Holland, when we won possession pretty early, many instances, he's pointing, he's saying, guys, I'm running into this channel. He's doing that classic gesture that all strikers do. And it's not even a matter of looking up and seeing it and choosing not to pass it. It's like no one's even looking for that. And I think that's that up and down style of football that you're talking about, Martin, that Pep wants to have when the situation calls for it. And I think Holland is looking for that. If we just release it and see what he can do, maybe we make a defender have to make a dangerous challenge and maybe suffer a yellow or even last man tackle and cause some problems. Or we spring them. We spring them and we give them something different to worry about. I think that's an element that was missing from us, and I would have seen. As you guys were talking about Doku, at the very least, I want my attacker to cause problems for the defender and cause someone else to either have to react or adjust. Doku did that all day. I was really happy with what he did against Trent. Could he then find that moment of zen to kind of slow down and either have the defender that he's not now beaten have to go in and on challenge or go through his back to try to get the ball? Or can he now look to square the ball to Holland or Foden? Like, that's the next part of it. But he's beating his defender. Now look up and take your time. And I think that's just familiarity. That's just getting accustomed. And that's also Holland, Foden, Alvarez. That's also them getting familiar to know, okay, he's past them. He's either going to square it to the 6 or square it to the 18, and I'm going to be here waiting for it. So we all need to calm down, man. We've got an excellent young player, and he'll get there. I wanted this win, though. I don't get caught up in these records, but I got caught up in this one, man. I got caught up in this one, and that home win streak would have felt so nice against Liverpool. We got the draw. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say, I know the record's nice, Do you know what the most? We're going to get into the goals, first goal. Do you know what was the most disappointing thing about the result for me? You're going to say the record because it was at home. That's where my disappointment is. If that was 1-1 at Anfield,
Yeah.
we're coming away and we're laughing all day and we're going, yeah, take that because we'll batter them at the Etihad.
Yeah.
Because that was 1-1 at the Etihad, and you know where we've still got to go in March, I think.
Yeah.
Where we don't win a raffle, never mind win jack anything else there. There's still, you're like, damn, Liverpool are probably going to get 4 points out of 6 off us here. And then,
do you know what, Martin? We're going.
Rich going to tell me we're going to Anfield and battering them.
We are. We're going there when we're going to be at our peak. We're going there when we're going to have
in life guaranteed. 0 points and goals at Tottenham and 0 points at Anfield.
No, I'm
you knocked them off the fixture list at the very beginning, mate. You know, I think
this year we're winning at White Hart Lane and Anfield.
Okay.
Good optimism.
Calling
there,
it
Rich.
now.
Good optimism.
I like that.
We always win at the Emirates, and this year it's flipped. This year we lost at the Emirates, and we'll win at Anfield and White Hart Lane.
That's my concern at the minute. Is we drew against Chelsea, we lost at Arsenal, we've drawn against Liverpool.
You're right. We lost at Arsenal.
So I'm sat there going, And I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I know I don't. By the way, I don't class United as a rival title jobby. Sorry, United fans, but I don't.
No, they're a jobby.
You know what I mean?
They're definitely a jobby.
I'm just a bit concerned of. I'd like to have beaten a couple of more of these bigger teams.
Yeah,
it's not like us to not. And I'm not moaning. Listen. I do think we'll still win the league at the end, 100%. Cool as a cucumber. It means we're going to have to go to Anfield or Chelsea at home. We're going to have to win somewhere we generally don't need to. We don't generally win. Now, Rich is very optimistic that will happen. We're going to turn that one around. But I'm just going, hopefully that happens. But
it's a season of change this year.
Normally, you want to beat your rivals.
The times they are a-changing.
As much as I've given Liverpool some praise, their front line was awful. I mean, Jota.
Oh yeah, Darwin Núñez.
I didn't even know Jota was playing.
Yeah.
Let alone Salah and Núñez. I mean, again, I don't see the comparison, and I still don't. He's going to go nowhere near Haaland's records. It's just until he can put it in the back of the net on big occasions.
He shouldn't be said in the same breath. He should not be said in the same breath. That needs to stop.
Yeah.
To me, he runs around like a 6-foot Paul Dickov. Just charges into
85 million
into space. Yeah.
Yeah, near 90.
He does. He did. He ran around a couple of times. He just charged out to the light or something, and it was reminiscent of Paul Dickov, but without the,
I mean, how many times was he offside?
Without the price tag.
Not
just him as well. A few of the others, they don't understand offside.
No, I mean it was. I mean, City kept that line brilliantly. That is one of the things that I was quite impressed with. Is the amount of times that Liverpool players were caught offside was absolutely fantastic.
I was happy. Sorry, go ahead.
No, so mate. We won when there was no crowd. We beat you 4-1.
Yeah, we did.
20 was it 2021 or 2022?
2022.
Yeah, because I know Phil Foden run riot. He didn't run riot yesterday because he was absolutely garbage. But hey ho, and I'm probably being a bit kind to Phil, calling him garbage because I thought he was atrocious yesterday. But hey ho, maybe that's me being harsh. But he wasn't his normal self yesterday at all.
Yeah, but I mean, I think Liverpool. It was far worse for them than I think it was for us. When it came to their front line, do you know what I mean? And they're attacking. It was just. I mean, if I'd have been Klopp, I'd have been at the end of the game. I'd be going, what the hell was that? I mean, Salah, normally you are fantastic, and today, like, where were you? I mean, it really was pretty bad for Liverpool as far as I'm concerned. I mean, they had a game plan, which I've praised them on, you know, for their defensiveness, but attacking was just
Ozzy, I'm with you.
non-existent.
Ozzy, I'm with you, because for all of the talk that Liverpool get about their attack, right? Their front three or attack, the four options that they have, like, they were toothless. And you said it. Salah, you can barely say his name because he really didn't do much. Ake played so well against him. And then everyone else out front, Jota got subbed off. I think Walker was excellent. Nunez, again, I don't think he studies the game. I don't think he knows where he needs to be and how he wants to attack. I thought he would have been more dangerous against us as a sub, so I was happy that he started. And Diaz, I mean, subbed on, he could only do so much. But I thought we were the better attacking. As poor as Foden was yesterday, I thought we were still the more threatening attacking three.
The problem for City is that we didn't put away our chances properly. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There were some clear chances where I think, you know, we could have won the game. Do you know what I mean? If City had been, especially in the second half, if they'd been in better tempo, if they'd been had more to them, I think we could have won that game. But I think that was the problem. Do you know what I mean? Because Liverpool were not at their best at all, you know. And I just think the game was there to be won, but it just didn't happen for various reasons we've already gone through, really. But it just wasn't that game for us, and it could have been. It's what could have been, really, for me.
Yeah, I mean, let's get on to the first goal. Obviously, Alisson, that world-class goalkeeper, best in the world, started off the game like he was nervous as hell. Don't know why, but he looked so, you know what he looked like? Do you remember David Raya when we played Arsenal a few weeks back? And he started off looking like just scared shitless. Alisson just looked scared yesterday.
That's the third time. That's the third time against us. Yeah, third time against us. He's done that. He's had 3 real shockers. There was that one that was particularly bad, where it was it the 4-1 where he or was it? I can't remember whether it was one of our big wins at the Etihad, but he had one where 3 or 4 goals he gave away, and honestly, he probably should have given away 3 yesterday, because Phil's finish when he's passed the ball in the penalty area wasn't good. And you know, I think he made a mistake that I think the ref made a mistake with Diaz's goal. I think he dropped the ball before there was any real contact. So I think he could have easily given 3 goals yesterday. And there was one other moment where Haaland nearly got him, but I'd blame the defender for that. But again, you know, Haaland, that was only about 6 inches from deflecting into the goal.
There was the couple to Foden. Foden, like I said, Foden just was not at the races. I don't know why. He just wasn't one of them games. The ball obviously gets kicked out. It falls to Nathan Ronaldo. Dances his way around the Liverpool backline like they weren't there. What a war. And then lovely ball into Erling Haaland, who has become the quickest ever Premier League striker to hit 50 league goals in 48 appearances, smashing the next 2 behind him in Alan Shearer and Andy Cole. Yeah, so not bad for a lamppost, is it, really, that he just...
17 games quicker.
Wow.
17 games. It is, when you think of it, it's stunning.
Ridiculous.
It really is. Just imagine what he can do if he stays in the Premier League.
Man,
I mean,
Alan's in the comments and he's moaning. Sorry. I mean, that goal, I thought we were well worthy of the 1-goal lead at the time. I know Liverpool had that chance with Nunez, which Ederson had pulled off. Fantastic save, I will say. But other than that, they haven't done anything. They had a couple of breakaways. But I've got to honestly say, I thought the Haaland finish was exquisite. That was great. And you sort of go in and you think 1-0, take a bit of that. Because I'll be honest with you, I thought we were comfortable for the 1-0 at halftime. I went in thinking we're going to go and beat these 2 or 3.
Yeah, but it was a little shaky just before that halftime whistle, though.
We always are, though.
Yeah, no, I know that, but that's where I'm like, that one goal still didn't. I needed us to come out of that second half and put on another one, because again, we're going to come back to this.
Where I was thinking we would go on though and get them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think for me, City were just, I think the word you could use is they were better polished. You know, they just were just sublime in a lot of ways. Yeah. You know, they were really, really good. Liverpool, like you said, Martin, had their chance, but really they weren't the races at all.
Yeah.
Rich is debating about scoring 18 at Anfield. Good evening, Rich. Hope you're all right.
15 will be disallowed, though.
Alan's done a super chat. Thank you. We need to sign a world-class midfielder player in January. We also can't keep a clean sheet. I'll be honest with you, Alan. I said this earlier on, mate. I don't think Pep gives a toss about the clean sheets anymore. I mean, I don't think Pep cares about let's keep clean sheets.
We are getting the best midfielder in the world in January. So, according to most people, yeah, he'll be back.
Oh, right, KDB. No, Alan.
I mean, most people, he's rated the best midfielder in the world, and he's coming back in January. So, we are getting a world-class midfielder in January.
Before that, I will say though, he did look ill on that bloody interview. You see the F1 interview? He looked ill.
I didn't see it.
Watch it. It looks like he's ill.
Yeah.
It's like he's lost a ton of weight.
Oh, like he looks thin in the face.
Yeah.
Did you see Sergio Aguero's outfit at the Grand Prix?
I did see that.
Yeah,
he had like a Manchester City, it looked like
Manchester City kit,
a Manchester City driver's kit.
Yeah,
it was hilarious.
Hilarious.
I mean, like I said, second half, and there's not we're going to talk the major talking points in a minute. We'll get onto it. No, we'll get onto it now. Might as well, because I know that's why Ellen's here. I did a poll earlier on in the chat, set it up this morning, asking whether the goal should have stood, because I do think this turned the game slightly as well, and it was quite a forward thing. And I just asked everyone, was Diaz's goal correctly ruled out? And I'm going to end the poll now. And it was 73% said no, and only 26% said yes. Now, people have said earlier on, as Yusuf was one of them, that's a foul every day on a goalkeeper.
It wouldn't have been a foul in a million years the other way. Not in a million years.
I watched it about 3,000 times. I'm sorry. Alisson fumbled the damn thing. He goes up, he jumps, he fumbles it, and did he have his hands on him? Yeah. But I'm sorry. No, there was no... Akanji did not... You can't say Akanji did not stop that ball, make that ball go out of Alisson's hands. The ball had already gone. How can VAR look at a Newcastle and Arsenal situation? How can they say Saliba's two hands on the back, jumping, not be a foul, but that yesterday was a foul?
Yeah.
The irony is that they show Haaland getting held by both hands and wrestled down in the same footage. So if you're going to look at that, and so there was some I'd have allowed the second one. I thought Haaland, I thought he wasn't actually touched that hard when he fell into his own goal with the ball. I think that one was, and people didn't even think about debating that. But honestly, I thought Alisson fell into his own goal with the ball about 10 minutes after that. And it wasn't even City fans weren't really discussing, but he was barely under pressure in that one. It was at worst 50-50. I mean, he could have given us 4 goals yesterday, Alisson. I don't think in his career that Ederson has had a game that bad. And that wasn't Alisson's worst game against City.
See, sub two's put Akanji used his arm. If it was shoulder, maybe, but Akanji clearly grabs his arm. I don't think that's a grab.
No, I think it was more a brush.
Yeah, I would have preferred for him to try
What's your fate?
and avoided Alisson, because I think if it looked like he was trying to avoid contact, it would have been a non-call. But keepers are going to get protected. I wasn't surprised that we didn't get the call.
You up there. Not the comments.
But Vader, if we play Liverpool, we can score the most perfect goal given, and they can handball it like that in their penalty area, run down the other end, clearly offside, and get a goal. And it's going to get. I mean, I would say now we could probably count 20 bad decisions against Liverpool in the last 7-8 years. Probably 20 incorrect decisions. This is just the same. Like last year, they invented a new rule where you can go back half an hour in VAR
with the Matip and Holland,
review a decision that's nothing to do, and a shoulder charge can be disallowed. You know, the Spanish referee allowed, you know, when Liverpool pass it to you, the player Liverpool can give an offside, or when our players a foot onside disallowed. I mean, we're always going to get bad decisions against them. We just have to accept that when we play Liverpool, we're that much better that they need a 1 or 2 goal head start, and that's what we play. I mean, you know, honestly, without bad reffing, we'd probably have won about 15 of our last 17 games against them, and we just we've just got to accept that that's the way it is. And so and I'm not going to go and say, can we replay the game? You know, this is the most outrageous thing in football history. It's just what happens when a club is allowed to so openly bully the officials, like, and they are allowed to bully the officials. They have done for 10 years or more, and probably longer. And as long as they're allowed to bully officials, they're going to get the decisions. And can the Premier League do something about it? Yes, they can. Will they? Probably not. So let's just get on with
no
it.
complaints over to Richard over at Sydney Blues. Come on. Alan now thinks Donut final ball needs to improve. Being a bit harsh there, Alan. Calling him Donut.
Alan's upset.
Anyway, right. I know we're not staying on much longer. Don't like this new system, lack of control, says Alan. You're probably going to have to get used to it, mate. It's not about what you want. It's what Pep wants.
Pep wants. Yeah.
It's not what we want. We need to come out of this thing of fans think they choose systems and players. They don't. Right, just very quickly before, because I know I'll stay on for a bit, and anyone else is free to join. I know Vader and Rich have to drop in a minute. Right.
Yeah.
Have we come to a point where the squad is too thin with all these injuries? Because for me, the reason why we're looking very fragile and frail is because for the first time in 3 years, we have got a thin squad, but with a shitload of injuries to go alongside it.
Yeah, 100%. I
think 2 years ago we had this situation. You know, around the Real Madrid semi and stuff, we had 4 defenders out at the same time, and we were playing Laporte injured, risking Stones and Walker, and they're coming on playing 20 minutes and going off. So I think this is a replay of 2 years ago.
Yeah. It's funny because as Rich says that, we were, you know, defensive players injury crisis, and now it's in the midfield. Now we're seeing it where we didn't have bodies available in the midfield, and to go back even with who we could have subbed on, we would have been subbing on players in areas that we were healthy and strong in. We've got defenders, right? Rico Lewis, amazing. Yes, he shows versatility, but he's a defender. And then we had Stones partially fit to bring him on, Gavardiol to bring him on. Again, all defenders. Oscar Bob was probably the only true attacking player, but he we would have needed him in the midfield, not up front to attack. So it's something that we're going to cope with. Obviously, I'm not too stressed about it because again, these aren't long-term injuries. And the most important one, as Rich Ozzy was talking about, we're having the best player in the league come back. And what's been so problematic for him is that past years, I think he's been worked too hard. He's never raised his hand and said, Pep, I need a breather. I need to rest. I need a couple days off. He's always played. So KDB being forced to rest, we're going to have him able to play his style and his aggressive style maybe for the remainder of the season where he wants to play every day, but he's been rested for half of the season. So I think we're okay with it. It just sucks that like I said earlier, the record's no longer there. It happened against Liverpool, and now we move. We play Tottenham next. So I want to thank you guys for having me on the show. I got to drop. I'm going to be a lot more consistent moving forward. So look out for invites and hope to.
Have you got any shows?
I'm doing a show later on today, hopefully in the next 10 minutes. I'm going to deal with some things family-wise. But yeah, I got CIA that's going to be coming
Which
off.
I will be on, by the way.
Perfect. Yeah, so continue your show. You guys come over afterwards. But yeah, thanks for having me on, guys.
Cheers, mate. Oh.
See you later, mate.
Cheers, Rick.
See you later, boys. Yeah, cheers.
Bye, Rich.
Rich is back Tuesday night.
Yeah, I'll speak soon.
Tonight, by the way, don't forget.
Yeah, speak soon.
See you later, mate.
Maybe you got another 10 minutes, Oz?
Yeah, I got on the time.
To me, I just think yesterday people were going crying about who to bring on. I just think when you are 4-0 up against the Bournemouth, I think it's okay to throw on an Oscar Bob or a Sergio Gomez. But I think when you 1-1 with Liverpool, if that had gone the other way, say we'd have brought Rico, say we'd have brought Phillips on, say we'd have brought Oscar Bob on, and took Foden, Alvarez, and whoever off, and Liverpool go on and win, what would then all the fans have said then?
Yeah.
So Pep's in a bit of a no-win there, because we're all sitting going, do you know what? I think he made the right choice, because I don't think there was anyone to bring on to change the game, because City are not a team that shut shop up. So bringing on Gavardio wouldn't have done anything. Pep said on the TV, John Stones was there as an absolute body for a bench.
Yeah.
He said he was not fit to go on. He was never going on. John Stones was just on the bench to make the bench look a bit more bigger than what it was. Sergio Gomez was on crutches 2 weeks ago. So I think it was the Bournemouth game he turned up on crutches. And no one wants Phillips in the team. Everyone's given up on Phillips, including Pep. We know he's going in January. And Oscar Bob's a kid.
Yeah.
So, and the other two were goalies. There was nobody to bring on to do anything in that game.
No, you're right, Martin. There wasn't anyone to bring on to make a difference. You know, yeah, you could have brought on Rico, but is he really going to change the game that much? No. So it is slightly worrying that we are looking very light. Pep keeps saying, I like to work with a small squad, and you get it. But at the same time, you need players to be on the bench to be able to, you know, make a difference. And yes, you know, injuries and sickness can't be helped, but we are really lacking in the midfield. Do you know what I mean? I mean, Núñez, I think he's quality at times, but he's not ready to make a full difference coming off the bench. You know, he needs, I think he's going to need a full season to embed before he really makes a full difference, to be honest.
Yeah. He's not shit and crap and something.
No, he's not.
No, I'm sorry to Alan.
Yeah, he's not shit. He's a quality player, but at the moment he's going to be coming off the bench more in big games. Do you know what I mean? He's going to be starting, against the likes of Wolves, Bournemouth, and in the cups. So, yeah, I think a lot of people are talking about January. I'm not sure really, because I think the players that we really need, the big players we're going to need in that midfield, are not going to be available till the summer. Do you know what I mean? I think if we bring anybody in January, I just can't see who it will be. I know a lot of people are throwing Paqueta out there. Yes, he's a good player, but I'm not. I don't think he's that quality. I think he's another Nunes, to be honest.
I think he's been amazing for West Ham. He's literally kept their squad going.
Yeah, but is he going to be the difference maker for City? I'm still not that sure.
No, I mean, I said a couple of weeks ago, you've got there is an interest in Mbappe. Whether that happens, we don't know. If you do the Mbappe, he'd go right wing. You can throw Foden back into the middle then, whatever you want to do. I think Mbappe, the only reason I'm thinking more Mbappe is because he's available in Jam. Because there's no way PSG let him go for free. Not a cat and hell's chance.
But really going to sell to City? Qatar?
There's nowhere else for him to go. Madrid are out. Said it publicly. They're out. They put all their eggs into Vinicius Junior's contract renewal. He doesn't want to go to Saudi. So where else is there for him to go?
I see your point.
There's nowhere for him to go.
I would be very surprised if that happens. Do you know what I mean? I will be gobsmacked. It's a bit like.
Sorry, go on.
I just can't see it happening. I will be absolutely gobsmacked if he puts on a City shirt. I'd like to be proven wrong. I think he's a very, very good player. My issue with him is that he's got such a big head. Do you know what I mean? That my worry is what he would do to the dressing room.
I agree. It's not my kind of signing. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying there's been links. And he would be available in January. Because, again, I don't see PSG letting him go out the door for free. They accepted 150 million off Saudi in the summer. So if you put a decent enough bid in, they'll accept. It's just whether he would. Maybe people are putting two and two because he was sat with all the City players and blah, blah, blah for the ballot for the Ballon d'Or. Yes, it is CIA. Top of the league. The Paqueta thing, I got told that's getting closer to some form of conclusion due to Paqueta's just trying to push it now because it's been slowed. And I think it was down to Paqueta. Paqueta had walked to Manchester. 1,000%. And I would have him personally. I think he has been very good for West Ham. And I do think he can play that 10, 8. I think he'd be better in that role than Alvarez. Don't think Alvarez has been I have concerns for Alvarez a little bit. Again, this is my worry for Alvarez. I think Alvarez has been amazing to cover in that role since he has been. My worry for Alvarez is when KDB's back, where does he go? Now, I was watching a few other City streams and they started asking the question the other day. They all went, where's Alvarez going when KDB's back? And I said, I've been asking this for 6 months and now you're only getting all to the questions because this is the problem. You're not dropping Ireland. He's back to number 2 striker.
Yeah. But
so
again,
I don't know what they're going to do with him.
Again,
I feel for him. I do. I feel for him personally. But hey, thank you, Lynette, for renewing your membership for 6 months. That is amazing. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I mean, Martin, we've had this debate a few times, me and you. I think he's a fantastic player. He knew he was coming in as number 2. Do you know what I mean? He's known this. A bit like when Jesus, we've talked about it so many times, you know that you are going to be very unlikely to, replace Haaland on the big games. It's just unlikely. But for him, he's versatile, which is great. He can play anywhere. in the front three, in the 10, so he will get games. It's just how long that's going to continue for. Do you know what I mean? Because you're right, Martin. Eventually, he will get like, I want to play more games. I think that's going to happen for another season, maybe 2. After that, that's when I'll have more concerns.
Calvin Phillips is at that problem with Rodri, and he never even got in ahead of him. This is when people say to me, let's get this world FIFA team, Kimmich and all these, and you think it's great on paper, but it's a bloody headache in the dressing room. Because you can't say to a Kimmich or a Wirtz or a KDB, yeah, you're just going to play 10 games this year, mate. Don't worry, just sit there because they're going to go. See, I'll go. I know this was part of the Rice issue. So we said this in the summer. This was part of the Rice issue.
Yeah, Rice wanted
he said, where am I playing?
Yeah.
And this is the problem. You're not going to sign top players to come in and sit on a bench. It's very hard because they all want. It made me laugh. I don't know if anyone saw it a couple of weeks ago. I mentioned it on the channel. Riyad Mahrez. And he was a right two-faced little sod when he said it. And it made me laugh. And he went, I didn't leave because of game time. I left because it was just came up. And then went, but I did get left out of the Champions League semi-final and final. And I played in them last season. But in the paragraph before, mate, it wasn't about the games. And now you're telling me it was because you were left. What? So it is always about the game time. We've had Spencer Pryor on the channel. Hopefully we'll get him back on one day. And he said it's not always the amount of games, it's the type of games.
Well, look at Walker. Do you know what I mean? I mean, because he didn't play in the final.
Jesus, he did. He did throw his toys out of the pram over one game.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm out. Pep had to go and wine and dine him to keep him.
Yeah. And I'm so glad he did, because I think Walker has been fantastic, in the games that he's played.
Yeah. But you don't have to. What you don't want to get into that road again is what you mean. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Neves, very good player. Again, Tolmy's talked about Neves. There is a belief they want to buy 2 new midfielders. We know that. City are not. If all the fans can see midfield as a bit of an issue, the club know it's an issue. And this is what I'm saying is Kovacic and Nunes were not bad signings. And this is why I use this analogy. Sometimes in an army, you need frontline soldiers that will come in and play 30 minutes or a League Cup 3rd round or an FA Cup 4th round at Cheltenham or whatever, for example. So you can rest your KDBs and your Alvarez's and your Haalands, etc. But you can't, so you do need some of them. Because do you know this is the biggest thing no one's noticed? We have no academy players to bring in. If you look at our academy, and Ozzy, you know this because you study the academy quite strongly. We are a bag of crap at the moment in the academy. We are not doing very well. Because Pep said they're not ready. And they're not. We basically sold the whole academy and had to bring everyone back up and go again. That's why we went and bought the lad from Leicester and a few other players, bought the lad from West Ham. And I think, is it Emil Heskey's son? One of his sons is in the academy as well. These are all still young lads. They'll get there, but the further behind than what a Rico was, well, not Rico. Rico was actually jumped to level, but a Cole Palmer, for example, or I'm trying to think somebody else. A Borges, the further behind them. So I think that's why they're looking. Everyone got excited about Barco Valery or whatever he was called, the Argentinian. It's come out today that the likelihood he'll be going out on loan to Leicester City. So we're not buying him to bring into the first team. He's coming in to go straight out on loan to Leicester. So this is what I mean. We've got to be careful. Sorry, Ozzy Paqueta will be great.
Hey, I hold my hands up.
No, you've said it now. You said he's a bag of shit. You don't want him.
Yeah,
back with the bang. Mbappe never happened unless Haaland leaves. They'll never play together in the same team. Strange things have happened.
Yeah.
Mbappe went out for drinks with City squad after the Ballon d'Or. I did read that somewhere. He comes to Arsenal, the one in Portugal. We're going to go on to the Teddy Venables is coming Alpha. It's coming at the end because we do want to do that separate. Mbappe, what happened? He's also got an ego thing about him.
Yeah.
So,
but you know, Pepe's the kind of person who can call his feet off and say, "Listen, you're coming in, you'll be playing my way." You know what I mean? Pep is the main man in that team. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't matter who you are. You're coming in, you're playing in a system, you're going to play for the team. If he can do that, great. But I think it's very highly unlikely.
Oh yeah, I do. I'm just, there's been links with surmising. We're just looking at options. Like Kimmich, we don't know the situation at Bayern. That's still not very good. And you got to remember, things can change. Say Bayern just ring City up in the middle of January. Listen, Kimmich it's not being dealt with. Do you fancy him at this price? So things can just change and develop. You don't know. I'm not saying, Kim, I'm just using that as an example. There was talk about, obviously, we'll talk about it next week, about the young lad who's just signed professional contracts at Manchester City. I'm trying to get his name, Indala. There is interest from a number of football clubs. It's very hard for a City youngster. You always think, will they get... Because the trouble is, we've been here, where Indala is, we've been here with Lavia and God knows how many people, and they've all gone. So I can never be confident anymore in anyone coming through.
No.
Sorry, I just can't.
Well, I think, as Pep said, to get into the City team from the academy, you have got to be very special. And I think that says something, though, for the likes of Foden, for the likes of Rico, who, he's seen and he's gone, they can do a job for me. They are good enough to be in the first team. And Foden, okay, Martin's had his go for him at the Liverpool game, but he has still been really good this season, apart from that game. Rico, again, I think he's a very good young player, and we've seen some absolutely brilliant, times from him, and I think he's got more to come. I think you're just going to have to wait and see, who comes next. Do you know what I mean? And it'll happen. It's just a question of when that next special player will come through.
Yeah.
So
I'm not saying Foden shit, by the way. Said he had a bad game. This is what happens when you say someone's had a bad game. It means you call them crap overall, then, and that's it. You finished. There was many who had a bad game on Saturday. Alvarez had a bad game, not because I think Alvarez is bad. He's just tired. The guy's knackered.
Yeah.
But I've seen a lot of fans now turning Alvarez. He's not scored for 4 or 5 games. He's not doing this. He's not doing that. Yeah. Some City fans have just hit the panic button over everything at the minute. It does make me laugh. But, in closing, 1-1 for me. Is it the end of the world? No. Is it the perfect result? No. But we're still second, a point behind. And I do think Rich, Vader, and you, we've not really hit full gear yet. There's been one game this season I think we've been top notch, and that was at the Swamp.
And let's be honest, we talk about the beginning of the season. We've never had such a good start to the season as we've had this season, and now we've kind of hit our bit of a rough patch, and we never really get going until after Christmas. Do you know what I mean? So I think that's going to happen now. We've got the run to Christmas. We've got some big games coming up, obviously with the Spurs one next. I think Rich could be right. I think Rich could be spot on that. I think we could go down there and finally break that curse.
Carry on. It depends. No, I'm talking about the league, the EDS league. They were like 17th. They weren't very good in it, mate. Carry on.
Yeah. but yeah, we'll see what happens, through the Christmas period now.
The 21st, mate. In the Premier League 2, they've played 8 games. They won 1, drawn 3, lost 4, and their last 5 was 1, lost, drawn, lost, drawn. They're 21st out of 26. Tottenham are top. I think you're talking about, is it the European part? I think the European part you're on about, Matty. But yeah, they're 21st out of 26. Because I had a look earlier. That's why I know. Sorry, Ozzy. Just wanted to double check that one, mate.
It's all right, mate.
Here's a question. Does it make the Villa game now must win? Or is that
I wouldn't say it's a must win. Do you know what I mean? I think we will win,
Or a must not lose.
Yeah, I think it's a not lose. But I Aston Villa are coming to a good form. What are they now? 4th or
4th, and they've got a bloody good home. I think they're undefeated at home.
Yeah. So, but I still think the quality we've got, we should be winning that game.
And then we got
Spurs one, which I'm still a bit like. I've still got the.
Oh no, we got Spurs first. Sorry, my error. Spurs and then Villa. My error.
Yeah, I was gonna say we've got Spurs first. So, what a lane. I mean, their new stadium, whatever it's called.
No, we're at home though.
Oh yeah, of course we are. Sorry.
So you can tell he's been away for 6 months. 11 pies, their squad is way too thin. We have to do business in January. I think that's the general consensus. We do need to do a little bit of spending in January. But I'll be honest with you, I think a lot of teams will spend in January. I think this could be one of the biggest January spends by a lot of teams. I don't just think it'll be City. I think there'll be a lot. Sporting won 8-0 tonight, cup game mind. No, I don't believe, to be honest with you, Alec Pep won't let that happen. Super City, I hope so. What are they all saying? I just think treble winners and relaxed. Hey, mate, we're very relaxed. Very relaxed. We're second apart of the top. And we're sat, Alvarez did look jet lagged, but I think Alvarez has looked a bit leggy for the last few games. And that's because I think we've had to play him nearly every game. And he's playing a completely different role. And I think he's done very well to adjust to it. Thought it was Cancelo cock-up super. Yes, it was, but Salah also handballed that and VAR didn't notice it. Strange. But they noticed that yesterday. Because the ball literally does that by Salah and rolls. And because as he turns on Cancelo, I don't know if did the camera not see it? I don't know, but I don't know how they got away with it. But they got away with it. But hey ho. We're third, don't talk about a league when Tottenham are top though. Villa a decent side, but City. I nearly said shitty then. I don't know where that came out. City should beat them. They're there. I think we get 4 points next 2 games. I think we get 6 out of 6 next 2. All right, I'm sorry, Mr. You. I'd say about mate, it's all right, mate. I think you meant I think there's a European one they're in where they're doing well in. I know in the league they're doing pants. They're not doing good. But it's not because they're crap. It's because they've had to literally rebuild that whole EDS back up. Because we got rid of everyone.
Made a fair bit of money, though.
Yeah, we did. But anyway, it don't matter. We'll all be in League 2 in 18 months. No, Conference, Panorama Conference North. Oh, my bad. Thanks, Super City. We need to win this season. And, listen, do we look like we're having a meltdown? I don't get these City fans who melt down. Do you know what? We could be bottom of the league and I won't go batshit crazy. I don't know. I maybe
be a happy man.
No, I wouldn't, but I'd be like, I'm not like I said, I'm not in it. I'm not bothered if we don't win trophy. Do you know what it is with me? I think I've seen what I want now. done the treble, done it. I'm like, I've seen enough to live in a bloody lifetime of trophies now. You know, wouldn't you mind a bit of Wrexham for a season just to add a bit of excitement into it? I don't know. Watching Villa and Spurs today, they both have players to cause us problems. Can't see 6 points. I can. City will buy my opinion. I think they will. Yep, you're right. Do you want to elaborate on that letter? Sorry, just double check which one's right. Me, Ozzy, someone in the comments, anyone? Martin Allowed dinosaur like me, you cheeky sod. But yeah, no, that's it. Manchester City have drawn 1 each with Liverpool Football Club in. Sorry, Speed, do you want to talk about this? Someone mentioned earlier on. Now, I'm leaving out the atmosphere on purpose because we're going to do a show during the week. I'm going to get Andy on from 9320 Pubcast. The atmosphere was pants yesterday. And Pep has mentioned it. But I don't think the club are helping in this situation. Because there was a lot of Liverpool fans all over that stadium. One, how have they got tickets? B, why are they being allowed in? C, there was a lot of issues yesterday with a lot of fans. So, I'm telling you now, my biggest issue here is, and I think we need to come out of this. I don't think it's international fans. I don't think it's overseas fans. My issue is not an overseas fan. We're a channel that accepts all fans, as a lot of City fans channels do this. 9320 Pubcast do. Vader does. Everyone does. We have overseas fans on the channel. I'm annoyed at the club because I had a conversation with the club this week. And I said to someone, you don't really care about loyal fans anymore, do you? And the response I got back was, well, it's a decision that wasn't made by us. It's been made by people above us. So I'm a bit upset at the moment. I have got a complaint in with the club at the moment. Because, as you know, my mum, I've said I've been ill. I couldn't go to the game. So I rang up, said I'm going to miss the game. I got told, can't miss anymore. Why? You'll lose your season ticket. Sorry, I've got a mum in hospital. Comes before the football club. So, yeah, there's a lot of things going on and a lot of complaints. And I hope somebody from the club who does watch this, you're annoying a lot of fans with the way you're treating people and with certain rules that are in place. People are selling tickets for £60 and they're being sold on at £300 and people sitting there on the phones. Yeah, come on. It's not good. It's not good. We should accept all fans from all over the world, but don't choose one or the other. It shouldn't be just locals and it shouldn't just be overseas fans. There should be room for both.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it doesn't seem that going on at the minute. They're sort of choosing. I don't get it. But we'll get into it midweek. We're going to talk about it. And again, we accept all fans. We have Vader on who's in Canada. I mean, come on, Aussie's on from Yorkshire. We have Rich on. We have Alan on. Can't get more bloody fakey fan than Alan. Come on now.
Exactly.
But no, in all seriousness, we accept all. We don't. I don't know any City fan who does gatekeeping. We don't do it. But what I'm annoyed at is not the fans; it's the club. Big difference. So, and I'd never slag the club off. I back the club to the hill. I just think the club are making wrong choices at the minute. And they're annoying fans who've been going 20, 30, 40, 50 years. And yeah, it's not on. And all I asked to do was speak with someone at the disability access team and got told I wasn't able to. So I sat in a queue for 2.5 hours, got hung up on 3 times and had to keep ringing back. City, come on. Not good enough, this. But anyway, we'll talk about that next week. There will be a show on Tuesday post-match for the RB Leipzig game. City need a point to finish top of the group. We're already through, but we just need a point. We will be back Tuesday night with that post-match show. Cannot wait for it. Tuesday night, we're going to talk all about RB Leipzig on Tuesday, 8 o'clock kickoff. So we'll be live probably about 11-ish when I get back, and we'll go through it all. I've emailed them, BB, don't you worry. I've emailed them. So I have got a written record of it. But I'll get a response back in about 4 weeks. So we'll see. But anyway, Ozzy, thank you so much for coming on, mate. You are a legend. I'm glad to have you back. Like I said, he's not back full time, but he's just going to take his time. But so you may not see him every show, but you will see him now.
Yeah, it's good to be back. And as Martin said, I'll be dropping in and out from time to time. But I appreciate everyone's support, and thank you so much to everyone in the chat and watching. You know, I really appreciate everyone saying their best words to me. It means a lot, honestly. And I'd just like to quickly shout out, because it has been put in the chat, women's team thrash Spurs. Congratulations to them tonight. They did really, really well. Fantastic performance.
Sorry.
Beautiful. Yeah, that's me signing off. Thank you, everyone. Please hit that like on your way out, and please share and subscribe. Means everything to us. And yeah, catch you soon.
Yeah, thank you very much. I will be back. I was Tuesday. I'll just be me on my own. We'll see who's available. But yeah, Martin Spawn, Diehard. I ignored. Fans will one day be surplus. We're playing United arenas. Get off. Talking nonsense. Then I will be a 5, 10 year, 20-year rebel at a local side. It seems like such simple. Do you know what? The simple things are usually the hardest things to implement sub to. Also, I do want to say a big rest in peace. We lost one of the footballing greats today in Terry Venables, former England manager, Crystal Palace manager, Tottenham manager, many managers. Loved him as an England manager. Shame he couldn't get where he wanted to be in 1996. Always remember that Netherlands game at Wembley. What a game. So exciting to see in 1996. But, you know, so makes me feel old when I see some of these managers go now and players go and etc. Who I grew up with watching, and then, you know. So, yes, it is sad. So, rest in peace to Terry Venables, another footballing member of the family gone, but won't be forgotten. And, yeah, it's so sad. So sad. Right to the Martin, yep, done that, mate. Right to the Common Complaint, yep, done that. I'm waiting for a response if I do get one. Singing that orders don't make them, and that's why there's loads of day trippers will get worse. Yes, I did get told that as well, SOS. Hope it's sorted for you, legend. Thank you very much, mate. Rest in peace, Terry Venables. 7. Rest in peace, exactly, Terry Venables. Yeah, I don't think they will, though. Sad. No, there's got to be a balance. Good to see you back, Ozzy. Good seeing you. Everyone's loving you back, Ozzy. Thank you very much, Julie. Take care, Martin, Ozzy and the gang. Barcelona. Oh, yeah, Barcelona. Thank you very much. I forgot he was Barcelona manager. Shouldn't have done, but he was. Well said, Martin. Terry was a great man. I always remember that Euro 96 team and that, you know, former Leeds manager as well. But I think everyone was Leeds manager back then. I always remember us smacking City on the opening day when Keegan was in charge, and we got smacked 3 or 4-0. And Robbie Keane, two things in life could guarantee you. City losing the opening game of the season and Robbie Keane scoring against us if we played for the opposition. Robbie Keane just always scored against us. So annoying. But anyway, thank you all for joining us. Smash them likes on the way out. Smash that subscribe button on the way out. And we will see you Tuesday night as we, by the way, Smash that subscribe because we're trying to get to 3,000 subs as quick as we can. And we'll see you Thursday for Manchester City versus RB Leipzig. Take care now.
See you later.